there, folks, this is Lucifer LeGivorden coming back at you with another video, and I'm dropping my pencil already. Today I have a guest with me, Josue.
Yes.
Josue. What's your last name?
Munoz.
Josue Munoz. And, forgive me here, I've got my hair all over the place. People might remember hearing about Josue, what was it, 2-3 months ago now?
Yeah, it was around 3-4 months ago, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Josue was in national news for an incident involving his Taekwondo dojo. What's the name of the school?
It was Castro Martial Arts.
Castro Martial Arts in Athens, Georgia, right?
Yes.
Okay. I know I was on the website. We'll go ahead and throw up the website on the screen here for people to take a look at. Could you tell us what happened?
So what first happened was an inspector who worked for the property management came inside of my apartment. They saw my shrine and sort of like witchcraft occult stuff I had in my room while they were doing the inspection.
Now, just to be clear, you're a Luciferian, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
In a sense, yes.
All right. So, go ahead.
So, yeah, they saw my shrine.
And they told your sensei.
Yes.
And you got kicked out of the dojo because of your religious beliefs, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, Josue, I keep on wanting to pronounce your name is Josue. I'm sorry. Josue, he was in national news. He was also picked up by McDojo and everything because his sensei, his Taekwondo sensei, Castro Martial Arts, the owner of Castro Martial Arts, sent him a text message. He didn't even have the balls to do it to his face. Kicked him out of the dojo only for the reason of his personal beliefs. And yeah, so he's with us today. He's with me today. You literally, it didn't just go to the dojo, did it?
No.
It went a lot farther. I mean, it influenced every aspect of your life. Am I correct?
Yeah, pretty much. I was pretty much forced to have to move out of my apartment. I was
not just your apartment, but the entire state.
In a sense, yeah. I mean, I just figured moving here to South Carolina was my best option at the time, considering the fact that I did try to find somewhere else to go within the state before officially choosing to move all the way to South Carolina. But that would have taken a while, considering the fact that considering the whole process that it takes to fill out an application for an apartment, as well as to find a job to help me be able to pay for that apartment. So
because you were working for the dojo, am I correct?
Yes, technically yes.
Right.
They had me clean around the place and.
All right, and that was how you were paying for classes.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Correct.
What were you doing for actual work outside of the dojo, if I may ask?
At that time, I was working at Goodwill.
You were working at Goodwill, and that was your actual job?
Yes.
And this affected your actual job, too, am I correct?
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't?
It didn't.
Okay. So you chose...
Well, it did in the sense that I had to quit that job before I actually wanted to be able to move. But other than that, it didn't affect it directly.
It didn't intentionally affect your job, but it did still, in the long run, cost you your job. Okay. So, before all that, how was the instructor's attitudes? How was everybody's attitude at the dojo towards you?
Everyone seemed pretty kind to me. I mean, they seemed to be pretty fond of me. They was telling me I was doing a good job with doing my martial arts and practicing what I was supposed to be practicing.
You actually attained belt rank too.
Yes.
Okay. So you weren't just a white belt anymore. You actually were ranked.
Yes.
Okay.
I managed to move up to the orange belt.
which in this dojo, because all the dojos, they're different. It all depends on the independent dojo. But in this particular dojo, that would be the first belt rank up from white belt. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you, what was your relationship with the dojo? I mean, how did all this start? I mean, even before, what was your relationship with it? How did you get involved with the dojo?
So, I had a mentor who signed me up for the Taekwondo class. I had a mentor at the time who was not just helping me out with the martial arts class, but also with other aspects of my life as well.
Okay.
And he was the one who signed me up for the martial arts class, so I was attending along with him.
Okay. All right.
And when word got around that that I had like shrines and stuff in my room, it was like practicing like witchcraft and
This, this went around the whole community, am I correct?
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
Like
he was notified about it. For some reason he felt the need to gossip about it to my Taekwondo instructor, and that was what led to me being kicked out.
Wow. But it was this inspector, this female inspector that came in to inspect your apartment. That
Yes. Basically, just a regular inspection, the same way you.
Who were you renting through, if I may ask?
So, I'll give you a little bit of my backstory. I was in the foster care system from when I was 15 years old all the way until I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was aging out of foster care, I didn't really have a relationship with any of my family, so I had no family, or I had no family, no friends when I was aging out of foster care.
And you still don't have any connection with your family, do you?
Not really. Only family I really have a connection with is my sister, and I talk to my mom every now and then, but our relationship is a little iffy. So, back at that time, I did find this organization that helped me get that apartment that I was renting at that time.
How long did you live there?
I lived in that apartment like a year and a half.
Okay, so you were there for a good while.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
And the organization that partnered with the property management was a Christian organization.
All right.
But they told me when I first.
But that's the thing. The ones that got you in there, they were a Christian organization, but the property management wasn't.
No, it wasn't. And I was paying my rent to property management, same way
So you weren't paying the Christian org, you were paying the owners of the property manager.
At that time, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And how much were you paying in rent?
I was paying, for the first year I paid $500. After I had to renew my lease, I was paying $700.
And this was like, was it an apartment like the size of the parlor here, or was it a decent sized apartment?
It was a pretty nice apartment. I liked staying there.
Okay.
It was a nice little one-bedroom apartment.
And you made your rent completely on time, never failed at it.
Exactly.
And when all this went down, what happened? What did they say to you?
So, I was notified by the people who work for that Christian organization. Oh, by the way, I was going to mention that when I first signed up for it, they told me we are a Christian organization, but we do not force it on you.
Yeah.
So I went in there thinking that they accept people regardless of their religious beliefs, no matter if they're Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist, atheist, whatever. They're just there to help people out.
Yeah, they like to lead people on and say, "Oh, we're all accepting and everything," but then something like this happens, and their colors really start showing through. So I kept my practice and my spiritual beliefs secret as something I kept private to myself. I wasn't shoving it in other people's faces or anything like that. I mean, I know you wear a pentacle. We can see it on you right now. Yeah. And that looks just like that's like a Wiccan pentacle. You wouldn't really think of it as being Luciferian. I mean, it's not like me where I'm wearing the trap map. You see the Cult of Cthulhu logo, on my shirt above, and you see skull chalices. And, It's not like me.
Yeah.
The only sign would be this guy's a Wiccan.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
there's also the fact that this was used by early Christians. By the way.
Yeah. I mean,
It's older than Christianity, much older than Christianity,
Yes,
but
it
it was used by early Christians as a symbol of the 5 wounds of Christ.
yeah. It was adopted by Christianity for that.
Yeah, it was.
Certain Catholic sects use it on the churches. We can see old world cathedrals where the pinnacle is in stained glass windows to represent that.
Exactly.
So he's exactly right on that.
Yes. And there's also the fact that Venus, and the article that was written about me mentioned me saying this too, that the planet Venus traces a pentagram in the sky every 8 years.
Yeah,
Venus
I'll
is-
make sure I link to the article that Josue was mentioned in that that was written about him. We'll link that down below. So if you guys want to go read it, I advise you go read it and whatnot. And we're also going to go ahead and we're going to. Is it all right if we show the text messages sent by the dojo instructor?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. He called you a devil worshiper.
Yes.
Are you a devil worshiper?
I do not call myself that, no.
Okay.
No,
So,
what I do is not.
How did that make you feel when he did that?
Annoyed, if anything, just irritated. Like, it just shows me how ignorant a lot of people still are, and how, like, a lot of people still haven't moved on from the medieval times.
Yeah. The burning times really put that into people's head. He just texted you straight out of the blue. You had like no warning that any of this was happening.
No, while I was at work, they texted me that, and the mentor that was going with me to the martial arts classes blocked me right after. Just cut off contact with me, just like that.
Wow. So like absolute zero warning, zero explanation, zero attempt to even talk to you.
Well, I called him and asked, why did you feel the need to tell my martial arts instructor about that? Like, why did you do that? And he simply said to me, because it was the right thing to do.
Alright. Is it, you don't have to tell me or anything, but could we have this guy's name at least?
He goes by Mark Frost, but I'm not 100% sure if that's his actual name. That's just what he goes by.
Okay. Alright, so, for all of you witches out there that this sort of thing pisses off, you got a name, Mark Frost, you can kind of write it on a piece of paper, and that's your little, you know what I'm talking about, folks. Anyway, so, outside of the dojo, literally outside of it, we mentioned that this went through the entire community of your local area. What was the fallout? What happened in the community when this got spread around? I mean, were you treated any different in general in public?
I mean, no, it was just within my social circle. I mean, obviously, like, the people who, like, worked for the organization that was helping me out looked at me differently. And basically, I mean, obviously, they didn't want me there no more.
They ostracized you, of course.
Yeah.
That even though you weren't Christian, these were people who you were hanging out with. These were friends of yours and everything.
Yes.
These were people that you had spent time getting to know and letting them get to know you on a personal level.
Yes.
How did that make you feel when suddenly, just out of the blue, the script was flipped? They ignored everything that they knew about you personally, and they started treating you like this.
To be honest, I knew it was to be expected. I mean, because that's just the way, like, a lot of, like, religious people tend to be. Like, it happened to me. I experienced the same thing with my family as well. A lot of my family cut off contact with me, don't want anything to do with me.
But these were people who you had actually cultivated a friendship with.
Yes.
sort of like an extended family beyond just your blood relatives. I mean, these were people literally that you would call friends. But,
Yeah, I also had to acknowledge that it is the way that I do that. I kind of just have to accept that I am going to be treated like by others because of my spiritual path. So
that's got to piss you off.
I mean, it does a little bit, but at the same time, it's like it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a great way to approach it. I mean, our time frame in our modern society, we're always talking about peace and love and accepting others. I mean, we know it's bullshit. Don't get me wrong. We know it's bullshit. But it's very hypocritical for people like this to be, say that they accept you as a person and to call you their friend, to probably have you over for dinner, to, sit down, go to the movies with you. Obviously, they liked you enough where one of them took you under his wing, got you into martial arts, helped you find work, helped you find a roof over your head, only then to turn around and shit all over. I mean...
Yeah, just completely cut me off, just like that.
Damn. And you're just like, it is what it is. Now, I mean, personally, that's the martial arts attitude I think people should have. That's a great example of what the martial arts teach. Instead of, just judging a person, you were able to just apply the logic of not only your religious beliefs, but of your martial training to your daily life and just roll with the punches. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, and there's also the fact that, people like me in the past, just a few hundred years ago, would have been either arrested or killed for practicing some of the stuff that I do.
In some parts of the world, even today, that still goes on.
Yeah, just a few hundred years ago, people like me would have been like arrested or even killed.
Charged on witchcraft charges. By Christians.
By Christians, yes.
By Christians. So, even today, Muslims will still do that.
So I'm like, the way I see it, if people back then had to endure that for their spiritual beliefs, then I can get through this as well.
Yeah, it's definitely nowhere near as bad nowadays as it is back then. Yeah, you face some backlash, some ostracization for this, but you're a young man. You're going to get past it, no bones about it. Really quickly, what would you think the founders of Taekwondo, of any martial art whatsoever, what do you think they would say about this whole situation? Like say a real life Mr. Miyagi came out of the past and saw what was going on. What do you think they would say about the situation to the instructor themselves?
I think they'd find it laughable. Like, what a joke. Come on now.
Yeah, because you didn't change who you were for the dojo. You didn't hide it. You didn't throw it in their faces. It's pretty much they suddenly got hearsay, and they didn't even talk to you. They didn't even ask you.
I was about to bring that up as well. They didn't even bother to...
They didn't even ask you if it was true or not.
Exactly. They were just going by hearsay.
Yeah. So... personally, I mean, I know if I was a martial arts founder and I saw one of my future, people studying the system I created 100, 200, 300 years from me go through something like that, I'd walk up to the instructor, slap him in the back of the head and be like, what are you doing? This isn't our philosophy. That's just me. But, all right, so really, out of curiosity, your civil rights were definitely violated. I mean, you got bullied out into moving out of your home. Okay? You got ostracized from almost your entire personal community. Your instructors, everything about your life was literally turned upside down because of this.
Yes.
Do you have any plans moving forward for remuneration? Like, are you planning on filing a civil suit or something?
I am going to see what I can do in regards to taking action against the martial arts school that kicked me out over this. Though I'm going to have to do some more research on what it is that I can do and how I can go about it.
I would definitely go after the person who started the rumors. The person who went into your home, saw your altar. I mean, we'll throw up a picture of Josue's altar. It's definitely nothing like mine. Okay? I mean, come on. But it's just a small little altar. And we'll throw it up, and we'll throw up a picture here so people can actually see it. And it's a private in-home altar. Now, I used to work as property manager, and I'll tell you, I've done inspections on units before. And one of the big things that is an absolute no-no is unless it is an actual rental violation, which his altar was not, from my understanding. Do you still have your rental agreement from there?
I am not 100% sure.
You should probably look into it, or call them and get a copy of your rental agreement. That's just a little bit of personal advice. As far as we all know, his private altar was not in violation, and even if it was, it certainly didn't warrant being bullied and threatened to move out or be evicted. And they actually threatened you with eviction, am I right?
What they said to me was, and I didn't even get an eviction notice, by the way.
Yeah, no, that's the first thing. They should have given you written warning, not verbal.
Yes, they gave me a verbal warning, said to my face, saying, you can either discontinue your spiritual practices, or you cannot stay here. And if you choose to stay here, we're going to do inspections in your apartment to make sure you are not engaging in these practices. We're going to do...
They have no right to do that.
Yeah, they said we're going to do an inspection in the apartment more often. Did I say that more often?
You're the one telling me.
Oh, well. Anyway, they said they were going to do inspection in my apartment more often to make sure I'm not practicing my spirituality.
Yeah, they had no right to do that. That's a violation. What is it? Your Second Amendment? Your freedom of religion?
Pretty much, yes.
You know,
pretty much, yes.
That is an actual civil rights violation right there. They cannot discriminate against you based on your personal beliefs. And that's where all of this problem came from, is that they discriminated against you, against your personal beliefs. The slander was spread throughout your personal, social circle and community. And it pretty much destroyed your life there to the point where you literally moved.
Yep. Start my whole life over, get a new apartment, a new job, new environment, everything.
You have a new place now.
Yes.
But it's not an apartment to yourself, am I correct?
No. I'm renting a bedroom. I have a roommate.
You have a roommate, you're renting a bedroom in a house.
Yes.
With how many other people living there?
3 other people.
And none of them are even your friends or family.
No. Well, my roommate I've been friends with for a few years now.
Okay,
that was
all right.
Yeah.
And you now have a new job.
Yes.
Okay. Are you enjoying the new job?
I do like it a lot. Yes.
That's really good. What are you doing now?
For right now, I am just working at a Planet Fitness. I am working on improving myself financially. So Planet Fitness is just what I'm doing for now until I can find something else that's gonna
pay you more. Yeah.
Yes. and help me be more financially free.
That's really, really good. That's really, really good. What are your plans for your personal future? What would you like to see yourself doing in like 5 years?
It would be great if I could make a living just doing stuff like readings for people or being a witch for hire. But I'm pretty sure people who do that don't make that much money.
No, being a professional occultist, it's rough work. You can do it. It is possible. But it can be a little bit rough to get into. But it is very possible. And, I would love to see, anybody who gets into doing that succeed. So let's hope to see that maybe 5 years from now that we see Josue doing readings and maybe even having his own place where he doesn't have to hide who he is. I am going to say that your situation is a great example why people just starting out, if you don't own your own home or something, you should definitely use something like break down altars, put stuff away, keep it out of public spaces, even in your home, which is kind of shitty to say, but you got a lot of people out there that will pull what happened to Josue. They'll pull it to anybody, and that's why you're here today. You want to get that information out there, right? So that way they know what they can do. If you could go back and do anything differently, is there anything that you would do differently?
Well, if I had known that the inspector coming into my apartment was going to say anything, about what I had in my room, I would have just took action to like hide my altar and put all my stuff up. If I had known that was going to happen, I did not think that was going to happen, and it genuinely
no one
surprised
wants
me.
to believe that that's going to happen, but it does happen. And unfortunately,
People
you
are
found
crazy.
out the hard way that it does happen. We live in the Bible Belt. Okay, we both live down here. This happened in Georgia. We're in South Carolina right now, but this is still Bible Belt country. And just the other month, somebody tried to hire or call CPS in to come try to take my kid away. And I mean, fortunately, I know what to do with CPS, but people do that shit. They try to run your name into the ground. They try to slander you just because you believe in something different. You believe in something that's not the popular religion. And
What happened when the Michael W. Ford tried to start the Greater Church of Lucifer? Why did he shut it down?
well, there was multiple reasons there, but that's a really good example. They actually had a physical location in Texas.
And there were protests going on.
Yeah, there was actual protests going on outside of the place, and Michael Ford, kudos to that man. Him and his crew, they took a lot of balls to do that. But yeah, there was sabotage done to the building. Somebody actually, I don't know if it was somebody cut a branch or did something, but they actually damaged that house, the structure that they were set up in.
Didn't he also get death threats as well?
Oh yeah, they got a lot of death threats. I'm from Texas originally, so it's a very Christian-oriented state.
Yeah, Georgia is too.
Yeah, it really is. Like I said, all of the South is the Bible Belt. A lot of people from Texas all the way over here to South Carolina, even up in North Carolina and Virginia, it's a really strong Christian country. So got to be very careful at times. And it's not always, a lot of people can't be like how I am. I've spent my years of my life being able to be open, but even back when I was like your age, I had to keep things much more on the down low. I had to be very careful who I talked to about it, who I let see my altar and my altar set up.
Yeah, I'm having to do the same thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was even more secretive about my spiritual practices and beliefs in the past. Like I was even more secretive about it. But like none of my friends or social circle knew about it.
Yeah, and even when you were talking about on Facebook, we were discussing this in the car ride over here. you posted an image. We'll go ahead and throw the image up. And you were talking about the fact that you were coming here to speak with me.
Yes.
And even in the comments, you started getting flack from Christians and idiots and whatnot. So
Yep.
it's and we get hecklers on our channel all the time. I usually only do live streams anymore. I mean, I should do more videos like this, but when we do live streams, you can ask Diana. She has to bounce people out. We have security all in our comment section, everything. We get raided by Christians all the time, and it's really stupid the way that they behave. It's very, very childish. So, is there anything that you would want to say to people out there? Any sort of words of caution, anything that you would want to say to the people who are in the left-hand path community like us, who might have gone through or potentially go through this sort of situation? Any advice you can give to them?
That's a really good question. I would say just like stay strong, stay resilient. Don't let it like get to you. Don't take it personally, because like practitioners of like witchcraft and stuff like that have had to like hide underground to avoid persecution for thousands of years. So definitely like, and things are a lot better now than they were a few hundred years ago. So
Things are a lot better now than they were even 50 years ago.
yeah. So
And it's thanks to people like Aleister Crowley, Dr. Gerald Gardner, Michael Aquino, and Dr. Anton LaVey that, you know, as well as many others. There's hundreds of pagans, witches, and occultists that really paved the way for the occult community, both right and left-hand paths nowadays, because just even, you know, growing up, I would get flack, and we still get flack now, but back then, it was really bad.
oh yeah.
I mean, we had to deal with the whole Satanic Panic era. I grew up in the Satanic Panic era.
Yeah. So if practitioners of the left-hand path, or whether you want to call yourself a witch or a sorcerer or anything like that, if people who are in those sorts of practices had to could get through those times, then that should aspire you to be like, you know, to stay strong, stay resilient. You can don't let judgmental people judging you for what you do get to you. Don't take it personally.
We are pretty much. Hey there, folks. This is Lucifer LeGivorden. Like a week after the interview has taken place, I've been editing this whole interview for everybody to cover things, and I realized that we lost the last few minutes of the interview. I'm really sorry about the noise. I got stuff going on around me. So I wanted to go ahead and just create this closer. Josue was a really great guest. I really enjoyed having him over, and there was several things that we realized after the fact of the interview that was not mentioned in the interview that might actually become a little bit more obvious to people. And even it was obvious to me. Now, one of the first things that I'm going to say is, you know, at no point in time do I ever condone or encourage people to go out and bother anyone to harass them or whatnot. We showed the websites of Lydia's Place, of Castro's Martial Arts Center, as well as Athens Real Estate. because these were all people who ganged up on this poor guy just to push him out. Literally, you know, Lydia's place, they turned around, they revealed private information to Castro's martial arts, as well as other elements of Jose's life and inner circle. And they started talking about things that they really had no business talking about. So I wanted to say thank you to Jose, and my apologies for taking so long to get this video out. It has been a pain in the butt editing because I'm primarily not a video editor and whatnot. So with that being said, you know, if you like what you've seen here tonight, in this video and everything, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button, as well as the subscribe button. That always helps me out. The books that you see in the background, as well as the books that I've written about, that I talk about, that are out now, such as my Bad Moon books. Yes, here's the hardcovers for them. You can see them here. They're available on Amazon, as well as anywhere else that books are sold. You can get them, and here's the lovely back cover art. Go ahead and, you know, if you're interested in my writing, go ahead and check them out. It really helps me out. It helps the channel out. It helps STS out as well. And I really appreciate it. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. My name is Lucifer LeGivorden. That was Jose Munoz, and it was a pleasure having him. And I'm out of here.